going on, guys? So this is a vacation home that I'm going to do some quick edits on to help make it pop. This is done in a property here in Arizona. And one of the first things I'm noticing is that the swimming pool has kind of a green tint to it. Now, it doesn't have a green tint because it's dirty. Previous shot, it's got this blue, purple, really cool color. It's got this light that changes color, and it goes through a spectrum of colors. And some of them are really cool, some of them not so much. Red is another one that's kind of maybe not the best color to have for a swimming pool. Blues, purples are really, really cool. So what I'm going to do first off is I'm going to come in here to the masking section in Lightroom. Now, if you're in Photoshop, that's awesome. All these tools are still available to you. And we're going to come in here, and I'm really quickly going to make a mask. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn off because I don't want to see where that mask is. I already know where it is. I'm just going to paint this in super rough. And this little button here, all it does is just shows me, where that mask is. I'm going to turn that off. And then let's go ahead and bump up the exposure just a little bit. And let's go ahead and take and add some magenta because it's the opposite of green. What I'm going to do is look over here in this section, and let's go ahead and pull this blue in just a little bit more. And then I'm going to add just a little bit more saturation. Oh, I like that already. That's looking really good. Now, let's go ahead and clean up this mask just a little bit more. Come in, come back in here. Now, what I'm noticing is that there are a few green tones still here, even though it's really blue. What I can do is grab another brush and go ahead and make some adjustments just for this little green area here. Come in. Let's push this blue just a little bit, and then we'll push up that magenta. Oh, I really like that. Yeah, I really like that a lot. So let's go ahead and turn this off and on. Ah, pool's already starting to pop. Now I can come back down. I bled over just a little bit on this mask, not a problem. Hit my erase tool, make my brush a little bit smaller, and I'm just going to paint off where I got a little bit crazy with that brush. Probably did a little bit back here too. Awesome. Nice. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is try to draw as much attention to the center of the image. Photography and shooting with and controlling light, one of the things that you're trying to do is guide the viewer's attention to where you want it. Right now with a flat image, you kind of don't know where to look, and I want them to look right here. So very simple ways to do that. Grab another brush tool, take this exposure, I'm gonna bump it up to, let's do 32, make it nice and big, single swipe, boom, across the middle. Look at that. With just those two adjustments, we've already made a huge impact. The other thing I'm noticing is that the sky. Now, Arizona's sunsets are the best. I've been all over the country. I've never seen sunsets as good as Arizona's. Now, I'm going to Hawaii. I'm going to be in Maui for the first time later this year for client work. That may change my mind, but until then, till that happens, Arizona is the place for the best sunsets. It's incredible. I don't know why you would ever do a sky replacement if you're shooting in Arizona and you've got some clouds in the sky. That's just amazing. So let's go ahead and take another sky adjustment. Now, they've got these AI tools, which are incredible. They got them in Photoshop, Lightroom, and this is going to select the sky for us automatically. Does a really good job. Click that off. I'm going to drop the exposure just a little bit. I'm going to increase the saturation just a tad. And then it's a little bright right there. So let me go ahead and take these highlights and drop it down. These adjustments, guys, are super small. Look at this. Negative 0.19, negative 6, plus 11. You don't have to do a lot of big changes. Think like an artist and you're painting with a paintbrush rather than a rock, right? Really small, subtle things, and just layer it on top of each other. Looks really good. So let's look at before and after. And this really is what our sunsets look like. It's cotton candy in the sky. It's amazing. Now, the other thing I'm noticing, so when I drop the exposure here and I bumped it up here, this foreground is pretty bright, and I can go ahead and drop the exposure there too. A couple ways I can do it. I can do it with the brush, or I can grab a linear gradient. I love this tool. Bring this up, drop that exposure down just a little bit. I like that a lot. And what I'm noticing is I'm just a little dull right here. So let me come back to this streak that I made, and let's go ahead and bump it up from 0.32. We're just going to, oh yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. Okay, let's take a look at before and after. Before and after. Guys, it didn't take a lot. Super simple changes. I'm going to do one last thing. Get out of my masking, come down here to the HSL. I've got a few options here, hue, saturation, luminance, and then all, just shows them all together. I'm going to focus here on the saturation. Come down to the yellows. Be very careful with this, because it does affect the greens as well. But I'm just going to drop down the yellows just a tad. And that's going to help me balance out the colors in these outdoor lights with the rest of the scene here. And there you go. Hope that was helpful. Have a good one, guys. Take care.